Welcome to the Other Side of Medicine, a trusted source for education, not medication, for 35 years. In every episode of The Other Side of Medicine, we deliver health information your doctor won't tell you about. My guests are the nation's leading health experts in science-based natural medicine, physicians, authors, researchers, and clinicians. We believe natural medicine should be first, drugs and surgery last, and so we promise to deliver you the next generation of health information built on three principles: common sense, science, and cooperation with nature. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Krystosik. If you haven't met me before, we're coming to you with this important message. We're the other side of medicine here, and we want people to know that natural medicine should be first, and drugs and surgery should be last. So if you are under that persuasion, well, you're in the right place. And we'd like to have you turn your health around. That's our goal here. We want you to be independently healthy. If you're feeling sick right now and you're tired and you're maybe overweight, and you're looking forward to the new year and what you could do to help to change that whole paradigm around so that you could live with lots of energy, have really good digestion, good sleep, and really a strong immune system coming into the new year, because so many people this time of the year, especially when it gets colder, especially in the northern hemisphere, where people end up getting colds and flus and they get sick all the time. Well, if you don't want that for yourself, I mean, you're in the right place. If you've been tired of having restless nights of sleep, and you're getting maybe 4 hours of sleep a night and you're tossing and turning, or you don't get over colds easily, or maybe when you get a cut or a burn, you don't heal that quickly. Well, if you like to be able to change that all around, I'm going to share with you something tonight. I'm going to share with you a secret about nutrition that goes way beyond the idea of just eat more fresh fruits and vegetables. How many times have you heard that? Especially when you go to a traditional doctor, a family doctor. Well, doctor, what should I eat? Well, you just eat more fresh fruits and vegetables. That's the standard answer. Or if you go on the internet and you look at some of the YouTube videos and some of the information that's out there on these various social media platforms, they'll say, yeah, you should be eating lots of fiber-rich foods, and you should be eating fruits and vegetables and whole grains and nuts and seeds. And you hear that over and over again. But that's a bit like telling somebody if their Wi-Fi is down, their internet's not working in their home, if you just blow on your router, that it's going to all be fixed in just a New York minute. My friends, that's ridiculous. You know that, and I know that. People are looking for something more today. They're looking for a personalized approach to eating, so that their body and their lifestyle and their genetics all is intermingled in what they should be eating. The one-size diet anymore doesn't really work for people. They want something that's data-driven, individualized nutrition. That's what we're talking about tonight. A diet plan that understands you better than maybe your kids do or your wife do. You really want something that's really personalized, that goes down really deep inside of you and actually makes you feel good and makes your immune system strong, gives you lots of energy, and helps you to live a long, healthy life, a vibrant life into your 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and even 100 and beyond. My friends, I'm going to start sharing with you some of the things that I'm able to do at 76 years old. I play basketball with college students. We're talking about 20-year-olds, and I'm playing full court basketball with them. I do racing on bicycles, and I work out in the gym, and I swim, and I do all kinds of, physical activity. I'm very flexible, and I do lots of different stretches. I can actually take my feet directly, if I'm laying on the floor on my back, I can take them directly over my head and I can touch my feet on the ground at 76 years old. Do you want some of that? Would you like some of that energy? If you like to be able to have, health that goes beyond just, the typical Well, eat more fresh fruits and vegetables and exercise. You want something more than that? Well, tonight we're going to be diving into that and talking about how you could go into the produce aisle and get foods that are specifically made for your body, personalized for you. You know, you've seen all kinds of the videos out there on the internet, and they're telling you stay away from sugar, you know, eat whole grains. That message is heard over and over again. And to be honest with you, I say that a lot myself as well. But here on the other side of medicine, we go beyond that and give you more detailed information. That's why I want people to come onto the podcast, get more specific information, and join my Gut 911 prescription community so that you can be around other people just like you who are looking for something more, so that you can get the inside information that I provide people every single day. I give a tip of the day, and I give you shopping lists, and I give you free resources and books and all kinds of things that goes way beyond just eat more whole foods, more fresh fruits and vegetables. I'm going to help you to become, again, independently healthy. So if you're not satisfied, if you're not getting better, you're still sick, you're tired, you're bloated, you got joint pains, you got brain fog, maybe you're suffering with a chronic disease, maybe you're fearful of getting dementia or Alzheimer's, or maybe you already have the first stages of those conditions. And by the way, don't accept hook, line, and sinker that if you have dementia or if you have the early stages of Alzheimer's or even a little bit more beyond that, that you cannot turn it around. You can, and I have patients to prove it, and I also have research to prove it, that your body's able to heal itself, even when you have brain damage that's gone beyond and gone into dementia and Alzheimer's. And when you have chronic diseases, whether it's an autoimmune disease or whether it's heart disease or whether it's a digestive problem or sleep problem or a skin problem or an autoimmune disease, my friends, if you get individualized nutrition, if you get personalized nutrition and you stop guessing and you get the specific tests that you need to find out where and how and what you should be shopping for and the things that you should be eating for your body. So let me ask you this, okay? Would you wear someone else's prescription glasses? That's an absurd question, isn't it? No, it's made specifically for your eyes. And, you know, I just got, recently a pair of prescription glasses because I had a really bad accident, and that was over about 4 years ago, and I damaged my right eye in a bicycle accident. And my deterioration on my right eye is really I'm actually saying it's that a cataract is forming because of the damage that happened during that accident. It's at about a 5 or a 6 on the right eye, and it's only about a 1 or less than a 1 on the left eye because of the way I eat and the way I've been living for the last over 50 years. But anyways, my point is I got prescription glasses, and they're made for my eye. The right eye is more damaged, and there's more deterioration, so it's specifically made for that eye to help me to be able to see long distance better. And so it's made personalized for me, the glasses. So the truth is, you need to have a nutritional plan that's personalized for you. And the idea that we can all thrive on the same foods and the same proportions is outdated. It's old school. Your body has unique needs. You got biochemical individuality. There's imbalances in your body that are not in mine or somebody else's, your husband's or your wife or your kids. You have deficiencies maybe that your neighbor doesn't have. You've got metabolic patterns. Maybe you've got insulin resistance, or maybe you've got a problem with food sensitivities where your neighbor doesn't, or your husband or your wife doesn't. See, you're biologically unique, and your nutrition needs are as well. So let me tell you, I've helped over 25,000 patients over the last almost 4 decades now. And I've seen people get general advice to eat healthy, but yet they remain sick, and they will remain overweight, and they remain tired, and their body's inflamed, and they're riddled with chronic disease and fatigue, and they're over-medicated. It's really sad that the average adult is on one or more medications today. Some of them are on 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 different medications. And that's absolutely ridiculous. You see, when you go to the doctor and you get a standard blood test, that's inadequate to determine which foods are right for your body. It may tell you maybe if you're low in sodium or if you're low in potassium. Maybe your doctor may be a little bit more brighter than the rest and gets you a magnesium test, which is really good. That, they don't test for B12 and they don't, well, if they do, let me qualify that. If they do, they're going to test for what's inside the blood, not what's going inside of your cells. That's a very important point. Let me really expound upon that, because if you get a blood test for what is floating around in your blood today, it may be there for, 3 to 5 days, but you need to have a blood test that tells you what's been going on in your body for the last, 60 to 90 to 120 days. That's what you want to know long term, what has been going on in your body and what's not just happening the last several days. So whether it's vitamin B or vitamin D or vitamin K or any of the vitamins, vitamin C, you really want to know what is going inside the cells of your body and what's getting absorbed, not just what's floating around in your blood. So if you're getting a standard blood test, you may get 4 or 5 different nutrients tested, but your body has many, many more nutrients. I do a blood test in my practice for over 31 different vitamins. And it's very simple. We just draw two test tubes of blood. We send it off to a lab and we get a very accurate blood test of what's going on internally inside your cells, not what's just floating around in your blood. So once again, this is something that I've been doing with my patients for over 35 years. And, when you look at what your levels of zinc are and selenium and magnesium and glutathione, coenzyme Q10, now you're getting and diving deep into what's going on inside your body. And that's what we do routinely. So, you don't want to do guesswork. You don't want to just take a multiple vitamins and say, oh, that's going to cover my needs. No, that's not a good idea. If you're taking a multiple vitamin, that's a step in the right direction. Yes. Especially if you get a good quality, a high quality one. Not all multiple vitamins are created equal. And some people think, well, I'll just go get a Centrum. My friends, you're fooling yourself. You're not getting a nutrient that is going to be supplying your body with the optimal levels of nutrition where you get absorption is at a high level. So don't buy just cheap. You wouldn't think about buying cheap gasoline for your car. You wouldn't think about putting in, the wrong type of fuel inside of any vehicle that you have, whether it's your lawnmower or your car. You wouldn't think about doing that, but most people, when they go ahead and put nutrition into their body, they'll put cheap things like Centrum vitamins. It's not a good idea. But again, just taking multiple vitamins not going to give you the accurate type of nutrition that you need that's personalized for you. And that's why I don't guess, I test. Well, let me tell you a real story. One of my patients, she came to me several years ago and she had severe migraine headaches. She had chronic fatigue, and she also had some skin issues like psoriasis. And she was also getting sick all the time. Whenever maybe a family member or a friend or a coworker would get the flu, she'd end up having that as well. And she'd end up not being able to shake it for 2 or 3 or 4 weeks, maybe even a couple months. Well, we ran a nutrient panel on her, the vitamin test on 31 different nutrients. And guess what? She was deficient in coenzyme Q10. She was deficient in some B vitamins and magnesium. And so these deficiencies, after we supplied her with the best type of supplements that she was deficient in, the most highly absorbable ones, within less than a month, in about 3 weeks, her migraines were gone. You see, that's the power of testing and to try to determine what's going on in your body specifically so that you can eat the foods that are high in those nutrients that you're missing. So you get better absorption, because there's nothing better than eating foods to get your nutrients. And that's my modus operandi always, is to use food first. So I can tell you, I've had patients on antidepressants for years, and what they needed was the nutrients that they were missing in their body. And specifically, they oftentimes will be deficient in the B vitamins and zinc. People with arthritis will routinely find that they are deficient in omega-3 fats and magnesium and manganese. See, this is not rocket science. Again, this is real nutrition. And the data is available. The research is there. Again, the difference between getting a blood test, a standard blood test where you find what's floating around in your body currently for maybe the last week, as opposed to what's getting inside your cells, cellular nutrition, and what your body's been utilizing over the last 30, 60, 90, 120 days. So you want to get to the root cause, and modern medicine is not doing that. Modern medicine is good at emergencies, but when it comes to getting the root cause, the underlying cause of chronic disease, it's flunking. It's failing miserably. Again, we need to go beyond what we're getting from standard doctors and when it comes to whether it's nutrition or whether it's the chronic diseases that you may be suffering with. They're just going to be treating symptoms with medications. So if you've got diabetes, if you've got autoimmune disease, if you've got cardiovascular disease, if you've got a skin disorder like psoriasis or eczema, or you've got acne or whatever kind of skin disorder you have, if we figure out which nutrients you're missing, we give your body the ingredients it needs to help to repair itself, then your body is going to be able to repair itself. It's already designed. God has designed the body to heal itself. I absolutely love that concept. I absolutely love it. Our Creator knows exactly what we need, and when we follow natural law, we get the advantage of having the body heal itself. See, because if you just treat symptoms, you're not getting to the cause. So you don't ask why your body's riddled with inflammation and pain. If you don't ask these questions, you don't ask why your gut's irritated, why you've got irritable bowel syndrome, why you've got diarrhea, or why you've got constipation, or why you're exhausted, or why you're anxious or tired, and all these other things. You got to ask those questions. Why is it happening? Not just getting a prescription from a doctor that masks symptoms. And that when that drug doesn't work, what does the doctor do? Well, we'll try a different drug. See, functional medicine, this is what we call the medicine of the future. Functional nutrition goes right along with functional medicine. It's a system that I've been using for over 3 decades. It's not about treating disease. No, we're not going to treat disease. We're going to treat the cause of the disease. It's about restoring function in your body. See, when your liver, when your gut, when your thyroid or your adrenal glands, and when they are manifesting symptoms, and you're not getting the right nutrients for your body's not going to heal itself. It's designed to heal itself. But if any of those organs or systems are not working properly, and you're not getting the right nutrition, it's not going to heal. It just can't. It doesn't have the building blocks to heal your body. See, functional medicine doesn't just say, well, you have high blood pressure, I'll take this drug. It says, why? Why is your blood pressure elevated? What nutrients are you missing? What hormones are out of balance? What toxins do you have in your body? What foods are you sensitive to that your body's reacting to and causing inflammation? It doesn't just ask what, it asks why. The all-important why. And that's why, again, I give personalized wellness prescriptions. I wrote a book 20 years ago called Goodbye Illness, Hello Wellness. And back then, over 20 years ago, I had a personalized wellness prescription inside that book. These aren't just fancy words, personalized wellness prescription. That's the same system that I've used to help thousands of my patients to reclaim their health from chronic disease, get off medications, cancel surgeries. Just go to my website, friends. Just go to my website. Do yourself a favor. theothersideofmedicine.com. theothersideofmedicine.com. Click on the testimonies and listen to some of the testimonies. You will be amazed at the types of serious diseases that people had. Everything from inflammatory bowel disease, where people were supposed to have their entire colon taken out, and people who had autoimmune diseases, so that they got off medications. They were destined to be crippled in a wheelchair. And now today, 20, 30 years later, they're still running and they're still lifting weights inside of a gym and enjoying their lives because we targeted the nutrition. And our objective was not just to, say, I hope that you're going to get better, or just go ahead and eat more fresh fruits and vegetables. No, we got to the root cause. So what can you do today? Well, the first thing is stop guessing. Start testing. Find a provider who will run a comprehensive nutrient test on you and get the blood test done. I've been doing this blood test for over 25 years, testing people's blood and what's going on at the cellular level and testing to find out which nutrients they're missing. So get to a doctor who understands nutrition. It's really sad that the conventional doctors have less than 10 hours of teaching in nutrition in their entire career of schooling. Less than 10 hours. I've got an undergraduate degree in clinical nutrition, and I've studied thousands of hours of functional nutrition. And I've written 7 books on natural medicine. So I got a little bit of experience in this realm. So you have to rethink the supplements that you're taking. Because if you're suffering with fatigue or mood swings or brain fog or poor sleep or constipation or chronic diseases that your doctor is treating with medication, these are red flags that your body's crying out. Let's get to the cause. Your body's asking, let's get to the cause. Stop treating the symptoms. And you could take vitamins or herbs and you could treat symptoms with those things too. And a lot of doctors do that. I'm not under that persuasion. I want to get to the root cause. I don't want you taking a basket full of nutritional supplements every single month so that you could just keep on going back to the doctor, keep on getting the supplements. No. As a matter of fact, after the first 3 months, I hardly ever prescribe supplements for my patients after the first 3 months. Now, I'll give them whole food nutrition, yeah, but not isolated vitamins or minerals, those types of things, and just have them keep on coming back over and over to get them. No. Supplements are tools. They're not toys, and they have to be used properly. So you also have to clean up your plate. Now, you've heard me say this over and over again. You got to stay away from the carbs from hell. What are those? Well, those are the highly processed foods that come out of the boxes and cans and the restaurants. They're low in fiber. They're high in sugar and processed carbohydrates. These have been highly refined. They got bad oils in them. They got seed oils that have been hydrogenated. This is very toxic to the body. And again, people are eating these things routinely, these carbs from hell, and their bodies are becoming resistant to insulin. In other words, insulin's being pumped out by the pancreas, but the body is not getting the insulin inside the cells to help to deliver the sugar into your body and throughout and distribute it throughout the body. It's staying in the blood. So you have high blood sugar. We have so many people now that have diabetes or pre-diabetes, insulin resistance, millions and millions of Americans. So again, we've got to get the power into your hands so that you can make the right decisions. My friends, you are not born with a deficiency of medications. You're not deficient in drugs. You were designed to have your body heal itself. You were designed to use nutrients. You were designed to eat natural foods. You were designed to move your body. You were designed to laugh more and pray more and have a purpose in your life and have hope in your life. You see, these are the things that are vital to your well-being. And when you get to a doctor to understand these things, it helps you to get a personalized nutrition, helps and encourages you to exercise more and to have the right mindset. You get rid of the stinking thinking and have a real purpose in your life. And when you connect with a doctor who's going to train you in these particular things that are so, so important, you're going to start to see your body heal itself. Your body is fearfully and wonderfully made. It heals itself. You just got to give it the right ingredients. When there's something and some symptom that's going on in your body, something's just not right, don't ignore these signs. Don't try to just cover them up with medication. That's like putting a Band-Aid on something and instead of really healing it. If you have a cut, let's say you have a cut, and that cut has not been cleaned, and it's not been thoroughly rid of the dirt and whatever else is in there, and you just put a Band-Aid over that cut, not going to heal properly because it's going to have those garbage that's going to be hanging around that cut that's going to infect it, and you're going to have serious problems from it. The cause of that thing not healing is because you've got all the toxic elements that have not been cleaned out. And just putting the Band-Aid on the cut is what drugs do. Getting to the cause, which is the dirt and the debris that's around the cut, and then get rid of those things, and then drink plenty of fluid, get the right nutrition, your body's going to heal itself. That's what I'm talking about. So don't just guess, test. Stay tuned to Here on the Other Side of Medicine. Learn about how to take proper care of your body and learn how to absolutely unleash the power of your body healing itself. Don't wait another day. Start tonight. Start today. I just did a video that I'm going to be posting on this Saturday evening at 6:00 on social media and on YouTube. And this video that I'm doing is so different and so unique, specifically on the topic of sleep. Now, when you have restless sleep, when you're not getting a good night's sleep, I just talked to a really dear friend this morning, a patient who is suffering with insomnia. She's laying down, she's trying deep breathing, she's trying to have beautiful soft music on, she's going to bed without being on her computer an hour before she goes to bed. She's following some of the signs that I'm telling her to do, but she's still not sleeping well. She just started to follow my protocol. And so I'm giving her the exact information that's on my video and making it personalized for her. But on that video, if you're not sleeping well, you certainly want to watch that video because I go into great detail about the great sleep thief. And the big sleep thief is the video topic. If you want to find out what the big sleep thief is, you really need to watch that video because you'll be surprised. And it's not what you think. It's not something that is, again, linked to nutrition. It's inexorably it is, but it goes around and there's something deeper than that. And I mean deeper. And when you watch the video, you'll see what I mean. So don't miss that video this Saturday. It'll be posted at 6:00. And it's again, the deep sleep thief. Don't miss it. It's a very, very good video. And if you're not sleeping well, it'll give you a lot of tips that your doctor's not going to give you, on how to be able to get a good night's sleep. Because when you sleep, your body goes into the self-repair mode. There's a system of the body that God has designed called autophagy. And autophagy happens at night. It's the body self-repairing and self-healing. The cells in your body, when you're not eating at night, when it's resting, the body's workers inside the body, the immune system starts to heal the body during restful sleep. If you're not getting restful sleep, your body's not going to be able to heal itself. So you got to start with the fundamentals. And this is the type of thing we do here on the Other Side of Medicine. We give you the tips and clues and suggestions and recommendations how to get to the root cause. And this video is getting to one of the big causes, the big, deep sleep thief. Saturday night, 6 o'clock, look under the YouTube underneath Dr. James Krystosik, and you'll find the secret to what is robbing you of your sleep. It's a good chance that this is a major problem for a lot of people. Well, my friends, I'm looking at the time here, and I think we're going to cut it short tonight. I hope that you did get some valuable information from what we shared with you tonight, and I hope that you come back. And by the way, go to our YouTube channel. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn at Dr. James Krystosik, and I post videos every single day and gives you lots of health tips. We have our Gut 911 prescription community. Take advantage of that. And again, if you are interested in becoming independently healthy, stay tuned to my channel, stay tuned to this podcast. And if you're interested in becoming a patient, coming up in the next couple of months, it's going to be extremely busy for me because a lot of people are thinking about, the New Year's resolutions and changing their diet and lifestyle and their habits, and they want to get well. That's just what it does every single year. I'm going to be really busy. So if you're thinking about it, take advantage of it real soon. Make an appointment. I have what's called a discovery consultation. It's $79. Normally, it's $129. Right now, it's $79. And so during this discovery consultation, I will have a face-to-face on the internet with you, or if you don't have the internet, we can do it on a phone call. But I like to do face-to-face on the internet. We'll do a discovery consultation, and I'll get and ask you specific questions before we do the consultation so that I can have ahead of time information about you. And then during the consultation, I will determine if your condition is something that I can help. And I will give you recommendations during that consultation of how to correct your problem with simple, natural solutions. And then if you decide that you want to go beyond that, we can go, and if I feel I can help you, we'll go into a deeper consultation afterwards. And if you like my protocol and you like my healthcare plan, we could explore that as well. But again, that discovery consultation will provide you with a wealth of information with a lot of things you can do. You will see results quickly about what I share with you to do. Your digestion will get better, your sleep will get better, your memory will get better. You'll start having more energy just from that discovery consultation. So take advantage of that. So until next week, I really wish for your good health. I wish that you could say goodbye to illness and hello to wellness. Until next time, my friend,